Yes, it's worth asking. I hope you don't mind that I say no, because what happens is if you say yes, then lots of people ask for it.
It's always worth asking. So,
Although I do have to say, most people don't want to go last. That's a new one. That would make it a lot easier.
well, I prepared a very short testimony, but I'd like to know my audience. Could I just get a quick show of hands from everyone in the room? Did you read H5343 before tonight, or today, before you got in this room? Show of hands. Okay, so it seems like most of you have read it. It's good. It's only one page and one line. It's one of the shorter bills that I've read. Another thing I want to ask the room is, raise your hand if you know what an ectopic pregnancy is. Okay, some of you know, some of you don't. For those of you that know, you know that an ectopic pregnancy must be aborted, or the mother will be killed because the embryo has, or the fertilized embryo has attached in the wrong place. It's not in the uterus, it's in the fallopian tubes, and the baby has no space to grow there, and it will kill the mother if allowed to continue. So that is at least one case where abortion must be kept legal in order to save the life of the mother. The child has no chance at life, the mother does have a chance. And so abortion must remain legal, if only to address ectopic pregnancies. So, now I want to talk about choice. Choice, choice, choice. It is great to have choice. Even the people that oppose abortion that we've heard from tonight have the choice on whether or not to continue a pregnancy. And wasn't that a wonderful thing for them to have? Wasn't that a wonderful thing for them to have in the United States of America, granted to them by the Roe v. Wade decision that happened in January 1973. I was born in August of 1973. I have enjoyed the protection of Roe v. Wade my entire life, and I'll be damned if I'm going to give it up without a fight. Okay? That's not a thing that's going to happen. My name is Mel DuPont, and I'm here to say I am not a dairy cow. I want everybody to be very clear on that, okay? A dairy cow goes through her whole life with no say whether she gets pregnant or when she gets pregnant. And isn't that so that all of that is up to her owner, right? And the dairy cow has no say in choosing whether to continue or to terminate a pregnancy that threatens her life. It's again up to somebody else. Well, I'm a human. I don't have an owner. I'm never going to have an owner. I'm a free woman. I live in the United States of America. It's the most free and the most democratic country in the history of Earth. That's where I live. And I'm here to tell you right now, I want more rights than a dairy cow. I demand more choices than a dairy cow. And I don't think that's a lot to ask. I want you to pass House Bill 5343 and show me that you all see that I am not livestock. I'm not property. I'm an intelligent woman. I'm a human with the right to make our own choices about our own pregnancies, when to prevent them, when to commence them, when to continue them, and when to terminate them. I demand more choice than a dairy cow. I can't make it more clear than that. Either you pass this bill into law, or you stop pretending that you care about women's health and happiness, because it's a joke if you can't understand that simple demand. That I need more determination over this than a dairy cow. I really want to hear your questions because I'm ready to take them all on. And I'm very dismayed tonight to hear so many pro-birthers come up to this podium and abuse our intelligence with lies and with false news that they lack the critical thinking to understand is false news. I have been a fertile female human since I was 11 years old, and I'll tell you right now, I was too young to have a baby at 11, but if I had got raped and I didn't have the choice for an abortion, I would have been a mother at 12. Who do you know that's 12 years old that's qualified to be a mommy? Do they even have the upper body strength to hold on to a baby? I don't even know. That's not okay. And it's hard for men to understand what it's like to consider fertility as a liability your whole life. That you're vulnerable as a woman to rape. You're vulnerable to some creepy uncle getting at you. You know what I mean? You're vulnerable to that your whole life. Ever since the moment you get your first period, you're going to have 480 more periods, 40 years of fertility, 480 chances to get pregnant. And I don't think anybody in this room would say that any woman should have 480 babies, right? We can all agree that's a little much for any one woman. So then what if you only had 40 babies, let's say 1 a year? That's biologically possible. I've never heard of more than 19. God bless her. But I think we'd all argue that there's no woman that should have 40 children. And that's, again, excessive for any woman to be expected to raise and feed and pay for and give meaningful interaction to 40 children. She could try. But I think we can all agree that that's excessive. And so I think we can all agree from that extrapolation that there's a reasonable number of babies that a woman can be expected to competently raise. And that number is going to vary from woman to woman. And it could be 0, and it could be 19. But that is an individual choice. It's up to that woman and no one else. No one else. Not a partner, not a preacher, not even a doctor. She is the one who determines when and whether she gets pregnant and stays pregnant. And that's what it's like to be a woman in the United States of America. We're no third world country. We have the compassion for each other to recognize individual human rights. We have the technology to enforce that a 12-year-old doesn't have to raise a kid. And that by extension, any woman can choose when she is pregnant and when she carries that to term or decides not to. That decision is between her and a qualified medical professional and no one else. I don't know what else there is to say on this. I don't know why I have to bring it up. After 43 years of enjoying Roe v. Wade, here we are again, under the gun, as if men have not learned that women are human beings. And I'm infuriated. And it's very difficult for me to be at this podium and not swear, because this is an issue that I couldn't feel more strongly about. I'm very tempted to use the strongest language in it. And I'll tell you one thing, if you don't pass this, you're going to hear a lot more from a lot more people who are a lot more pissed off than I am tonight. So think about that, and think about your career, and think about what it says to the women of Rhode Island if you can't get this bill to the floor for a vote, and if you can't get it passed. Because what it's going to say to women in Rhode Island is you do not consider them to be intelligent people who understand the impact of their own fertility and the choices that they have to make to have a life that's worth living. I welcome your questions.
Any questions from Al? Thank you.
And now you want to know why I wanted to go last.
Could we hear from